I never thought I'd become the neighborhood vigilante. But when you're pushed to your limits by an HOA president with a power complex, desperate times call for desperate measures. My name is Michael. I moved into Oakwood Estates 8 months ago. It's a beautiful subdivision, manicured lawns, tasteful homes, and unfortunately, the most overbearing homeowners association president in suburban America, Karen Wilkins. I met Karen during move-in. I hadn't even finished parking the truck when she marched across the street, clipboard in hand, khaki capris, blue blazer, oversized HOA president pin. "Hello, I'm Karen Wilkins, HOA president. Your moving truck is fine, but it's partially blocking the sidewalk by exactly 7 inches. That violates Section 12-4 of our bylaws." I smiled politely and moved the truck. I hoped that would be the end of it. I was wrong. Over the next few months, I got official violations for grass 1/4 inch too tall, a garden hose visible for more than 12 hours, a grass 1/4 inch too tall, a garden hose visible for more than 12 hours. I got official violations for more than 12 hours. A grass 1/4 inch too tall, a garden hose visible for more than 12 hours. Bird feeder that attracted non-approved bird species, a wreath containing too much red during a non-holiday month. Each notice came with a fine and Karen's flourishing signature, plus a smiley face sticker, which somehow made it worse that I complied. I'm a software developer who works from home. Drama isn't my thing, but Karen didn't stop. She began organizing community walkthroughs with her committee, peering through windows to ensure interior decor matched HOA aesthetic standards. I caught her one afternoon, face pressed against my living room window. "Can I help you, Karen?" I asked from the door. She jumped back, nearly trampling her hydrangeas. "Oh, Michael, we're just doing our quarterly interior compliance review. Your curtains appear navy blue. Section 17-5 requires window treatments to be neutral or earth tone. They're black," I replied. "And I don't recall anything about interior design in the bylaws." Her smile tightened. "Perhaps you haven't received the updated bylaws. I'll have a copy delivered." The updated version arrived the next day, clearly printed on her home printer with several handwritten edits. It granted the HOA president sweeping power over everything from interior paint to visible porch beverages. Then the package thefts began, working remotely. I order a lot: office supplies, computer parts, books. I noticed items were marked delivered, but never showed up. I installed a doorbell camera. The footage? Karen, in full HOA regalia. She'd examine packages and take some back to her house, especially those from tech companies or bookstores. One day, she opened a small box right on my porch, pocketed its contents, and tossed the packaging into my recycling bin. I confronted her. "Karen, my camera shows you taking packages from my porch. What's going on?" She flushed, then composed herself. "I'm enforcing HOA regulations. Section 23-9 requires deliveries to meet neighborhood aesthetic standards. I've been temporarily confiscating non-compliant packages." "Guidelines for packages?" I asked. "Box size, delivery frequency, visible logos. We can't have visual clutter." "I meant to return them, but I've been so busy. I'd appreciate it if you returned everything immediately and stopped taking them. Once you submit a package exemption form and it's approved, I'll be happy to comply." "And where is that form?" "I'm still drafting it," she said, without irony. "But rules are rules, even while they're being formalized." I called the local police's non-emergency line. Officer Reynolds came by. He watched the footage, shook his head. "Gray area. She claims HOA authority, so it's more civil than criminal for now. Document everything. Get the real bylaws. Talk to your neighbors. You're probably not the only one." He was right. The elderly couple on the corner had been fined for having grandkids visit more than 3 times a month. The single mom down the street got citations for leaving for work too early. Karen's reign wasn't just annoying, it was oppressive. 3 days later, my packages were returned coincidentally after I mentioned the police. Some had been opened, resealed poorly. My new gaming keyboard was sticky. A programming book had coffee stains. A collectible figurine was missing. Karen insisted it was never there. I played the long game. I read the actual bylaws 127 pages of mind-numbing legalese. No mention of package size, logos, or confiscation. But I did find a gem. Homeowners could request financial records from the HOA with 48 hours notice. I filed a request. Karen stalled. The treasurer was on vacation. The records were being audited. A localized water event had damaged only the financial cabinet. Meanwhile, I set up a second camera, this one aimed at Karen's porch. Turns out the confiscated packages never came back out. Either Karen was building an empty box fortress, or she was keeping the goods. At the next HOA meeting, I sat quietly as Karen lectured about mailbox heights and unapproved garden gnomes. When it was time for new business, I raised my hand. I'd like to discuss the package confiscation policy. I can't find it in the bylaws. The board looked confused. Karen turned red. It's more of an unwritten rule, she stammered. For community safety, I move that we create an official policy stating HOA officials may not remove or inspect packages without written permission from homeowners. To Karen's horror, the motion was seconded and passed almost unanimously. Only she and her husband voted against it. Before the meeting ended, I raised my hand again. I've submitted 3 requests to view the HOA's financial records. Section 31-2 requires a 48-hour response. I'd like to assist with organizing if needed. Karen's annoyance shifted to panic. They're still being organized. We switched accounting systems. It's complicated. I understand, I said pleasantly. Other homeowners began expressing interest in the finances too. I left the meeting victorious. On my way out, I told Karen, I've installed more security cameras, just for aesthetic purposes, of course. Karen didn't take kindly to being challenged. Over the next week, she tried to retaliate with everything in her passive-aggressive arsenal. First came a citation for unapproved lighting on my porch because my motion sensor LED bulbs were too futuristic. Then, she sent a warning for improper trash bin orientation. Apparently, my bins needed to face east. East. Like some kind of suburban feng shui nonsense. I ignored the citations. She doubled the fines. I framed them and hung them in my hallway like trophies. Then I got creative. See, Karen loved rules, especially unwritten ones she made up on the fly. So I decided to follow the rules to the letter. For example, I painted my lawn gnome beige to comply with neutral tones, but gave him leady eyes that glowed red at night. I bought a compliant mailbox but installed it upside down, no height violation. I mowed my lawn precisely every 72 hours, leaving symmetrical grass clippings spelling free the mail. The neighbors noticed. Some laughed. Others joined in. The Johnsons installed a wind chime orchestra that played the national anthem. The Lees repainted their door from HOA beige to slightly darker HOA beige and dared Karen to fine them. She did. They appealed. She lost, but it was the package that pushed things over the edge. I knew Karen still occasionally inspected deliveries. So I set a trap. I ordered a box from a fake business I created online, Rodent Aromatics LLC. Inside the plain brown package was a sealed plastic bag full of shredded skunk fur, courtesy of a local wildlife center, a bottle of concentrated skunk scent, a note that read, "Thank you for your order. Caution, extremely potent. Not for indoor use. For best results, store in cool, dry, HOA-free spaces. I left it on my porch in plain sight. Sure enough, the camera caught Karen creeping over within 30 minutes. She picked up the box, shook it, sniffed it, why? Then hurried off with it like she'd found contraband. 24 hours later, the neighborhood knew. Karen's porch was evacuated. Her husband, normally mute in her presence, was seen spraying Febreze in concentric circles and gagging. Animal control showed up. Apparently, she'd opened the box in her foyer. That skunk stink doesn't come out easily. Word spread. Fast. Inspired. The neighborhood united. We called a special HOA meeting. According to the bylaws, if 25% of homeowners requested it, we could force a vote of no confidence in the president. Karen tried to cancel it, citing increased risk of emotional terrorism. We held it anyway on Zoom for convenience. Over 80% of the neighborhood attended. I presented footage of Karen stealing packages, screenshots of altered bylaws. With her handwriting, her financial stall tactics, a copy of the skunk package receipt. Yes, I itemized it. When we got to the vote, Karen launched into a speech about preserving the moral integrity of the community and the dangers of unchecked individualism. It lasted 9 minutes and included the phrase, domestic insurgents. Then we voted. 0.92% voted to remove Karen Wilkins as HOA president. Her face froze on Zoom. She blinked. Then left the meeting without a word. We appointed an interim board. Real people, not Karen's book club army. We conducted a full audit of the HOA's finances. Turns out Karen had been reimbursing herself for decorative expenditures, read scented candles and throw pillows for her porch, charging a $35 community engagement fee monthly, which funded her spa days, spending HOA funds on monogrammed stationery and a personalized HOA golf cart. We reported it to the proper authorities. Restitution was ordered. She avoided jail, but had to repay every cent and resign from any future HOA involvement for life. Her house went up for sale within a month. We threw a block party the day her moving truck arrived. No fines were issued. No bylaws were read aloud. Someone brought unapproved lawn darts. We cheered. Karen glared at us from the porch, holding a Febreze can like it was mace. Before she left, she posted one final message on the HOA bulletin board. You'll miss structure when chaos reigns. We framed it. It now hangs above the new community mailbox, which, by the way, faces whatever direction we damn well want.